So good morning, everybody. Buenos días a todos. But I think we will switch to English now, which is the academic word language, I would say. First of all, welcome to this very nice workshop, Doing Research in Germany. And let's start with who's involved with this. And who knows what the DAAD means in German? Oh, Deutscher Akademischer Austauschdienst, 100 points and maybe almost a scholarship, but you have to figure this out later with our colleagues. So this is organized by our beautiful DAAD regional office here in Bogotá, and you will all get to know the whole crew later. Hosted by Universidad de Los Andes. First of all, clap your hands for Universidad de Los Andes. We are in this very beautiful building here, Centro del Japón. Who is from Bogotá or from Colombia who haven't been here, please have a visit. This is a very nice building, nice exhibitions here, and we are very happy that we have this honor to be here in this very beautiful space. Also, co-organizations, we have a lot of other universities and institutions, and I would like to call all of our research ambassadors and the others to the front now. And we will pass the mic. So very nice. So please. And then the raw, and I will pass the mic then. So first of all, name and institution.
Good morning, everyone. Marcela Santaella. I am from the International Center of Tropical Agriculture in Palmira, Colombia.
Good morning, everybody. I am Vladimir Rinco from Universidad Industrial de Santander in Bucaramanga.
Good morning. My name is Jenny Hernandez. I am from the physics department here at Universidad de Los Andes.
Hi everyone, my name is Camilo Cortés. I'm Vice Dean for Research of the Engineering Faculty of Universidad Nacional de Colombia.
Buenos días, I am Christian Lazar and I'm from Freie Universität Berlin.
Good morning everybody, I'm Laura Ferreira and I'm from the DFG, the German Research Foundation.
Good morning to everybody, I'm Verena Dolle from Justus Liebig Universität Giessen. And I was vice rector for teaching and studies for 6 years, and now I'm here as chair for literatures, Romance and Latin American literatures, but I'm able to speak of Justus Liebig University as well. Thank you very much.
Good morning, I am Raquel Nascimento from GFG.
And good morning, my name is Raquel Rojas and I'm from the Freie Universität Berlin.
So you will have the opportunity to interact and to engage with all of our colleagues afterwards. So we have our research ambassadors from the DAAD, also the scientific ambassadors from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, all the representatives from the institutions you saw here. But with no further ado, I would like to pass the mic to Dr. Rainer Babel, who's the director of the regional office of the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service. They even have a translation for this in German and in Spanish and in Portuguese and I think in a lot of other languages, but let's stick to the easy ones. And Reinhard, to you for the welcome remarks.
All right, thank you, Søren. And on behalf of the German Academic Exchange Service, as you have heard already, DAAD, I all welcome you to this workshop, to this Doing Research in Germany Day, as we call it as well. And first of all, let me thank to La Universidad de Los Andes for hosting us here today, to Jimena Hurtado, thank you so much for helping us to organize this event, and also to Johanna Mick Clausen, thank you so much, and to Camilo Villa and all his team who helped us organize it. So thanks a lot and a big applause. And I welcome, of course, Bianca Müller from the German Embassy, who's joining us here as well today, because you may know that all these institutions you have here, we are working with public funding, so you will hear from this later on exactly. What are we doing today? The idea is to present you the research landscape in Germany. And it's a research landscape which is really diverse, which is really big. And the idea is to give you a glance of all those opportunities you may have there. Whether you are a person who think I will be making my PhD one day, so this would be one of you can inform yourself about these opportunities in Germany. Whether you already have started your PhD within one of the universities around here, we have opportunities for those of you who are doing their doctorate at this moment to have a shorter or longer research stay in Germany, for instance, or whether your persons already have recently finished your PhD and you're looking for a postdoc stay, there are opportunities, or senior researchers, all of teachers, researchers, and all over these universities in this region, there is also opportunities for you. So this is the idea, and let me say three things about this German research landscape. There is, as we believe, not only a big diversity, different things you can do, but there's a high quality in all the areas of knowledge. So we are not only applied science, we are doing also basic science, social science, arts, architecture. There is an offer for everybody. So this is the first thing. In order to reach excellency in research, we are opening our doors. This is why we are here. We are convinced we only can be on the top of the research around the world if we connect each other internationally. And this is also the second point for those of you who are thinking doing research abroad or doing it in Germany. When you do it in Germany, you will not necessarily need to speak German. So, because when you go to the research institutions, to the universities, you will find researchers from all over the world. The common language usually is English. This is why we're talking English right now as well. So I'm mixing it up with Spanish, as you know. But this is normal. Mixed languages, though internationally you're doing research. You will be connected to the top researchers. For instance, in Max Planck, we will hear some of you will some of us will tell you how is it like to do research in a Max Planck. And Max Planck, I can tell you, normally half of the researchers are not from Germany; they are from all over the world. So this is the reality where you could enter as well. So this would be the second point. So high quality, international, and of course the third point would be how to finance your stay. And there, let me tell you. If you may never heard before, but in Germany we have a higher education system which applies also for the research landscape, which is public in main parts. So that means usually you wouldn't pay fees to do your PhD, for instance. On the contrary, there is lots of opportunities where they will hire you, they will pay you a salary to do your PhD in Germany. So it can't be an excuse to not have any money to do it. It's because we want to attract the best from all over the world, and we know not always the best are the ones who have their own resources. So we're opening the doors, and of course you will have to pay for the living costs there, but that's where we enter as sponsors and funding institutions who are present here today, the DAD, the DFG, Alexander von Humboldt, because we have scholarships. And the scholarships are not to lower or reduce the fees of the universities. They are to pay your living costs, so you can focus 100% on your research, on your PhD, postdoc, etc. So this is just a short glimpse to introduction what doing research in Germany can mean for you as well. So welcome everybody, welcome here at the Centro del Japón. But I didn't say, but we have connected people virtually, so welcome as well. And thanks and enjoy, and well, hope to see you in Germany.
Bianca. And now I would like to introduce you to Bianca Müller, and I will read her card because she's Jefe de Prensa, Cooperación Cultural y Científica, which will be like the English translation scientific attaché. I shorten it a little bit, but also with communication and media, press. Something like this. From the German embassy here, Bianca, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sören. Buenos dias, good morning, Honorable Vice Rector, distinguished academics And as we diplomats say, all protocol observed. So please all feel greeted in the level that is your due. Dear Reinhard, dear DAAD colleagues and all the other colleagues, it's lovely to be here this morning and to address you briefly. And I'm much more comfortable in English, so I'm happy that, because I've been here only for 10 months, so my Spanish is not as good as my English, I think I can confidently say. And yes, I have 3 charges in the embassy, and I always, when I'm in such a circle, say, unfortunately, with the smallest percentage of my time dedicated, or that I'm allowed, can dedicate to scientific cooperation. But that doesn't mean that for Germany this is not important, and I think today's event is the best proof of this. Globalization is a huge challenge that we have been living with now for a couple of decades. It has challenges, but it also has opportunities. And here in Colombia, I have learned more, to be honest, about Alexander von Humboldt in the past 10 months than in Germany, because he is so prominent here. And when I was in the Restrepo archive and saw some handwritten letters by Humboldt asking Restrepo for some editions or reviews of his study, academic research, I thought, oh my word, that has taken months, his letter, to travel to Colombia, then it will take another couple of months until he gets his answer. So to advance his research and his academic work, of course it took him years and years. So I think globalization has also a positive effect, because we have the internet, we have airplanes, we have this tight connection between all of us, and I think this is what Reinhard was also alluding to. For us in Germany, it is so important not to be in our little ivory tower and have our academics have access to all this knowledge around the world that many of you can bring to Germany. And this is why we as the German government, and again Reinhard hinted at, a good amount of public, taxpayers' money goes into research because it is so important for us, and it's important for us that academics from around the world can come to Germany and contribute and work academically together with not only Germans, but with scientists from all over the world. And this is why we put money, manpower, heart and soul into this academic cooperation that we want to use for the better of the entire world, and not only for Germany, but for science, for knowledge. And I think nowadays it's more important than ever that the brains, the people working with facts, come together and make sure that we stay on the ground of science and knowledge to advance the world further. So I'm happy to see you here, and I hope many people are connected and will think and consider taking up the offers that Germany, not only the government, but all those institutions, foundations, organizations have on offer. And I hope to maybe someday see many of you in Germany. So I hope this day will be fruitful for all of you. Congratulations to the organizers already. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. So have a good day. Thank you.
And now for the last remaining welcome marks, I would like to call Profesora Doctora Jimena Hurtado Prieto. She is the Vice Rector for Research and also for Creation. I'm very interested in the creation now, and we created something together. Once again, clap your hands for Universidad de Los Andes and Vice Rectora Jimena. Thank you all for us to use this space, and yeah, the words are yours.
Thank you so much. I'm just here to give you a warm welcome to Universidad de Los Andes. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you all here. Thank you for DAAD's trust to have this event in our university. And thank you to all the representatives of the different German institutions with whom we have had a very long collaboration for a very long time, starting with Giessen especially. So this is an ongoing collaboration, and we are very proud of it. We have really profited as a university from this alliance with German institutions. It has helped us build our research capacities. It has helped us build networks. It has helped us build legitimacy and strength in what we do. And we are very happy that we now can have you here and convene people from all other institutions and universities in the country to make this network even stronger. This, as a country, can only benefit all of us, and we can now say that this effort to keep working together can bring more opportunities to more people. So thank you all of those who decided to attend this event. You're very welcome to the university. I hope you get to enjoy a bit the campus and visit this beautiful building. It is the Centro de Japón, the only one that exists in Colombia, and we're very proud of having this center here. It is a place of connection also. It is a place where we have, as Soren was saying, a lot of expositions and exhibits. And it is a place where we believe that it can host and be the home of all these intercultural dialogues and conversations. So thank you so much for being here. It's been a great opportunity also. I think today will be a great opportunity for those of you who are present here, but those of you who are online too, to profit from the people, from the different institutions, the German institutions that are here and who can help you navigate your future. And because your future actually is our future, is the future of this country. So there's a big commitment and I think a big engagement that you're taking the first steps, and that might also deepen our relationships and what you and we can do for this country. We believe that, of course, we have to, as Reinhard was saying, the key to the future is alliances, networks, and collaboration. There is no other way that we can navigate the challenges that we are facing, all the challenges related to what is going on with the planet, with democracy, and the challenges brought about by the new technologies. And especially the challenges that this means for higher education. We have a place to stand, and we have to make sure that we are on the best standing position to face those challenges and to give society the answers and solutions that we all as a community deserve. And that means that we have to make the best research possible, that we have to seek for excellence, and that we have to be creative in those responses and solutions. And that is only going to happen if we really take seriously the opportunities that countries like Germany are offering us. So I think this is a very generous offering, and at the same time we have a lot to offer too. We have very bright, very smart, very brilliant and talented people who can really exploit all these possibilities, and I hope today will be, as I said, the first step in taking advantage of the possibilities that are being offered, and that you will make us all proud. I hope that Germany will be one of the possibilities, but then that you will be able to come back to this country and make it better. That's what we're supposed to do. And it's kind of strange anyway to still be speaking about frontiers and borders and countries in a globalized world. And I think it can be made for the better. It's not necessarily that we are Colombians or Germans. I hope that we are citizens of the world. And that means that we have to build a world who accepts everyone and where everybody has a chance to be the best they possibly can. So thank you again. Thank you to the DAAD especially for the support and sponsorship for the organization of this event. I wish you all, as I said, a very, very successful day with many lessons to be learned, much inspiration to continue your careers and collaborations, and many, many, many very useful connections and contacts for you, for the country, for your institutions. Thank you so much for being here.
This ends our segment of welcome remarks, and thank you again, Universidad de Los Andes, for hosting us. And now I will give the floor to our dear colleague here, Reinhard, to start off our session about funding and opportunities in Germany. And the DAAD will make the beginning.
All right, thank you so much, Christian Lassar from the Universidad Libre de Berlin. And thanks again. Without further ado, we can start, but just let me say what Vice Rector Jimena Otaro said. We have some bright Colombians who did their research, their PhD, postdocs in Germany here today. Some of them we call, or we named them, DAAD Research Ambassadors, and there's also the Alexander from Humboldt Research Ambassador, Jenny Hernandez is here with us today as well. So they will give you an example later on. You can talk to them as well. But I think it's the best example we can show, because we want to connect, and those are people who are leading positions at their universities, doing their best to connect or still keep in touch, of course, with their colleagues in Germany, and that's what we're aiming for. And so hopefully the path they already started, or this is an ongoing path, of course, is something that you can learn of and maybe be a future ambassador as well. All right, so let's start and talking about now the opportunities and the offers the DAAD is offering. As you heard, my name is Rainer Babel. I'm heading the regional office here in Bogotá. But first of all, what is the DAAD? Well, I always say we are like a club, we are an association, and our members are the German universities. So this is like an image. We are not government organization, but of course we're working closely with government because they are funding us. But what we are doing is basically what the German universities tell us to do in order to support their efforts for internationalization. As I stressed out at the beginning, this is what we are convinced is necessary to assure the quality of our teaching and research, of course. And well, the main task of the DAAD is to move people from one side to the other. Today, basically, we will talk about the opportunities for foreigners in this region to go to Germany. But of course, we are moving people from Germany here to Colombia and Latin America as well. We're doing both, but with our offices here in the region. First of all, we talk about the scholarships and opportunities you have to go to Germany, but we have German universities here today as well, so they will also tell you what the DAAD is helping them, and we have project funding as well. So basically with the numbers, as you can see, we are not only with the German government, but also funding from the European Union. Which is of course also German tax money as well going to the European Union, but we're using this money as well to connect people all around the world in terms of research and higher education. And each year in the last years we financed more than 130,000 persons in mobility, which turns us into the biggest funding agency in the higher education system, talking about internationalization. All right. This is the short introduction. We have our regional office here since 2020. We're not only giving information to people from Colombia, but also from Peru, Ecuador, and Venezuela, basically. So welcome if you're connected virtually from the other countries as well. Most of the offers we are talking about today are open for all around the globe, of course. But we have these regional offices focusing on some regions. All right, that's the basic introduction, what the DAAD is doing. And apart from giving information and telling what are the opportunities, we are funding. No, so we divide it into groups. We have individual funding, which is maybe what you have heard most, the scholarships from the DAD. Individual funding means each person, whether you're within or without an university, research institution or not, if you you match the profile of some of the calls we are opening, you just can apply, and then you can do your PhD completely in Germany, for instance. No? So this is the individual funding. But what is not that well known is that we also do project funding. What does it mean? Project funding means that we support German universities who are cooperating with universities here, and the Universidad de Los Andes has, together with some of the German universities, made applications to this project funding, and they earned it and they gained it, and they're working together on an institutional basis, which means it's not one individual, but it's the two universities. The DAD gives the money to the German university to finance, let's say, for 2 or 4 or 5 years or longer even, the cooperation alliance between universities, basically. But this also can be used to have research days, for instance, no? Or to organize a conference and so on. So this is just important to know. At the end, I will give a short glimpse about this project funding as well. But first of all, we will focus on the individual scholarships. And today we are talking about research. In Germany, maybe the concept of research starts when you start doing your PhD and further on. I know in Colombia and Latin America, we talk about research on early stages as well. And of course, somebody in Germany doing a master degree and doing his master thesis, of course, he's already starting to do research. But we divide it logically like that. So, but here I just show you that we not only have scholarships for PhD and so on, we also have some small scholarships on an undergraduate level as well. We have scholarships for doing masters in Germany as well, but this is not the main focus of what I'm telling you today. The main focus will be more on the right-hand side on the different options we have for doing research. But you will find all the information on our homepage, dad.co. All right, but now I jump into the research scholarships, and there we have different offers. As I said, the first one is the option to do a complete PhD in Germany. It's an annual call we have, so you basically enter in competence with all the areas, with all the candidates. It's open to do a PhD in Germany, and it's also open for the 2 different ways of doing a PhD in Germany, because maybe you've heard already, but it's important to know that in Germany traditionally, and still more than 90% of the PhD are not done in a structured PhD program. They're done with a tutor who will guide you, and you will do autonomous research yourself with the guidance of your tutor. So what you have to find in Germany is not so much a university or research institution, but a tutor who will will guide you through this 4 years of research. At the end, you will write your doctoral thesis. You have to defend it and get the degree from the university where this tutor is employed. So this tutor may be employed at the university as well as in a research institution, and this is our different options. So you can fund this individual doctorate, as we call it, with this first scholarship for the 4 years. But you could also use the same scholarship program if you find a structured PhD program, because they also exist in Germany. And it's there of course, you can use the search machines for a PhD program and you will find it. But it's very limited. So keep in mind that to do a PhD, you could do it at any German university with any professor who has the faculties to be a tutor. And it's an annual call, as I told you. Normally it will open in June, and it will close in midst of September. And you will find all the terms on our homepage as well. Well, the second line is the binational doctoral degree, or co-tutel, if you want to call it like this as well. This means you're already in a PhD in your home country at your home university, but you would like to have a longer stay up to 2 years, between 1 and 2 years in Germany, to use the research facilities of a university, research institution, and so on. For that, you also need an invitation from the host university or from a tutor in Germany. But it's the idea is that at the end you return to your home country, finish your PhD here. Whether you do it with a double degree or not is not a concern of the DAD, but you have to agree between the institutions. But this is a real good option if you have already a connection between research groups, for instance. So that you can use it, and that's for a collaborative cooperation and research stay on a PhD level. So this is the second line, also annual call, and the same dates I mentioned before. And now we have the third line is research grants for doctoral candidates and postdocs. Here, this is a line we used to have before, but we fused 2 lines. So now you have the opportunity, it's more flexible, to when you're within your PhD here and at your home university, you can ask for a stay minimum 2 months or up to 12 months. You will also need an invitation from the German hosts, of course, and a project description and so on. This is normal. This will be 2 calls per year, starting with this year, and then we will have a second call. So this makes it more flexible for short-term stays, right? And we have a postdoc option as well here, which means you have finished your PhD, and the end of your PhD is not longer than 4 years before. So it is within the 4 years after finishing your PhD, you can apply for a 6 month, maximum 6 months or minimum 2 months research day on a postdoc level. All right, this is the three options for research days on a PhD or postdoc level we offer from the DAD finance, 100%. I will tell you what that means. And here in Colombia, at least, we also have a program with the DAD called Futuro. You may have heard it. Most people do their masters, but there is also some people who can apply for the funding from Col Futuro doing their PhD abroad. So this is another option. We have an agreement with Col Futuro which allows for a partial scholarship from the DAD. The Col Futuro is a credit scholarship, so the DAD never has credits. We only have scholarships. So the partial scholarship we will give you will finance a part, and the credit you have to ask for at Col Futuro will be lower because you already would have the additional or partial DAD scholarship. All right, and we have an agreement also in Peru, and the details, as I told you, will find on our homepage. Now, going to the next level here, for those who want to do a research stay, they have their PhD, they're working as researchers. We also have flexible options to do a research day between 1 and 3 months in Germany. We divide it between those who are artists or architects because there's special conditions for them, but the rest is open for all the disciplines. So basically the conditions are the same. You will need an invitation, you will need a project description, your records of publication and so on, but that's basically it. And so we open this two times a year as well, and just stay updated on our research or on our course on our homepage, and we will see it. So you can ask for this every 2 years. So there's no excuse. If you want to stay in touch and work with your colleagues in Germany, you can do it and could apply to these options. And yes, not to forget, we have some special programs because I showed you the general programs who are open to whether the PhD is structured or not. But we have 2 different programs who would give you funding for structured PhD programs, but those are pre-selected from the DAD. So you couldn't choose freely which program you would apply to, but you have to go to the call and look at the list of the PhDs we are funding. And the advantage maybe of these program lines is that it's a unique process. You will apply directly to the university, to the program. if they give you, or if they accept you, they also can give you directly the scholarship. So it's in the other course, it's normally separated. You need to get the invitation from the German host or the university and apply in parallel to the scholarship. So if you're interested in this, why not check out which of the programs, maybe there's something you're interested in. All right, so these are the conditions I say. What does it mean for scholarship from the DAD? As you can see, we pay travel allowance, going there, going back. We would pay you an intensive German course as well, whether you're doing your PhD or your research in German. We would give you a longer German course before you start your research. Or even if you do it in English, we also would give you a 2-month German course, staying in Germany and getting to know more of the German language and culture, of course, which makes the stay easier at the end. And well, we pay medical insurance, of course. We pay 460 years allowance each year automatically for whatever needs you would have. And well, when we talk about the monthly scholarship, which is like the most important part for the it depends a little bit on the level. If you're doing master, we're paying 934 euros per month, but on a scholarship for PhD, it would be 1,300, and for senior researchers, even more. So it depends a little bit on your level, but it's the minimum for the PhD would be 1,300. As I told you, this is the money you would need to cover your living costs in Germany, because you don't need this money to pay the fees, and it's a calculation which really allows you to focus 100% on your research in Germany. And really important is as well, we pay additional help for families, because we know on this level it's a project not only for you as an individual researcher, but also with your family, and we pay additional allowances for the family. Also you're included in the medical insurance and so on. So really we know if you want to go with your family, you can do it, and we would fund you as well. All right, so here back to the homepage dad.co. On the right hand side you will see the backers, and you will find those I mentioned here, but also all the rest. And we have another funding guide, which I will also recommend you, because so far I only talked about the DAD opportunities, but there are many other institutions who could give you funding as well. You will hear them right now as well. And on this funding guide, this is well, databases with all the scholarships existing in Germany, so we invite you to use it as well. Okay, so this was the individual scholarship part, and now I switch fast to the project funding, just to show you some examples of some projects we are funding here in our region. You may have heard about the Peace Institute, German-Colombian Peace Institute. We have an excellent center in marine science and so on. And you can see the numbers. This is the annual funding we give them. So with that, you can do a few things, and including research days and so on. So this is just to give you an idea. Hopefully in the future we will have even more. It's not all of them, of course. It's just a selection for my part. And okay, here I give you just an overview of different programs of project funding, which is also not complete, but it's just to give you an idea. Would be too long to talk about all those options. But for instance, if a German and a Colombian universities want to do a double degree program, they can ask for the DAD funding to do so, and so on. So, and then we have thematical programs like the SDG partnerships, which focus on sustainability, and further on. And there's one program I just will take the time to give a short mention, because this is one of the programs really appetized here in our region, which helps a group of students with a teacher together to travel to Germany for a short time, between 10 and 12 days. And you're asking, why is this important? We're talking about research. Yes, it's not a research program, but it really helps you to get in touch with institutions there. You can visit universities, you can visit research institutions, and get in touch with your German fellow colleagues there. So this sometimes also helps to start a collaboration on the research level. So that's what I just wanted shortly, because it's one of the project funding, because it's not individual. Here a group is applying, and the university, in this opportunity would be the Colombian or the Peruvian or the Ecuadorian university receiving the funding, so that the group can travel to Germany. All right, and the last program I want to mention is a special program, because, as I told you, we have also funding for Germans. So this sometimes, I just mentioned one example, is the program Rise Worldwide, because this would allow you as a researcher, for instance, at the Colombian institution here, whether you are a senior researcher or you are a PhD researcher, you can apply for a German undergraduate student to come and support your research here. So what you have to do is make a description of the research project you're doing right now, and the position for the undergraduate student will do an internship, basically, with you. You just have to enlist what is the person, what should she or he do, and the DoD will select the best propositions, and then the German students can apply and come here. 100% finance from the DoD. It's just an example how you can use those programs for Germans as well, to get in touch, to intensify maybe pre-existing relations as well. So if you're interested, check out the program Rise Worldwide. Now, just rapidly finishing, if you don't want to lose any of our calls, of course the best would be to enlist yourself here on our homepage. You can, we have some the bulletins, but also you can just say, I want to get the information from the DoD calls, and every time we publish one, you will get an email. Or maybe you prefer to get this same information via social media, so just follow us on our social media channels in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Venezuela. There you find this updated information for all the calls we have, but we also publish calls from other institutions in Germany. So thanks so much for your attention, and we will pass the mic on to the next organization. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Reinhard. And now we will have the pleasure to hear more about the German Research Foundation, also in association, not a government agency. And Laura Ferreira from Sao Paulo will tell you more about it.
Yes, good morning, everybody. As Sören just introduced me, I'm Laura. I am a program officer at the DFG's Latin America office in Sao Paulo. And I'm here today to introduce you to the German Research Foundation and tell you a bit about what we do to fund your research projects in Germany. For those of you who do not know the DFG, we're quite similar to the DAAD. We are a self-governing, non-governmental organization. We are an association of members, so our members are German universities and research institutions. So this means that at the basis of organization, our basis are the German researchers, or to be more exact, the researchers doing research in Germany. This also means that the DFG works according to a bottom-up principle, which means that the researchers themselves can decide what projects they want to propose to us. We fund curiosity-driven, so we call this curiosity-driven, but our main focus is basic research, so not as much applied research, in all branches of science and the humanities. And here on the right you can see a graph, for example, of the distribution of our funding budget in 2022. And there you can see everything from humanities up to interdisciplinary projects are funded, so everything across the board. And the DFG's mission is really to fund excellency, so high-quality research. And as part of this, we also support international cooperation research, which is why I'm here today, to show you a bit about how we do this. Before I go on to the different ways we fund international collaboration, our funding principles are also very important if you are thinking about proposing a project to the DFG. So I really stress this, the DFG funds basic research in any field of science and humanities. There are no restrictions in this way, and we work according to what we call standing open procedure, which means that all our programs, or most of our programs, are open topic on all disciplines and all areas, and there are no deadlines. So you don't have to rush to prepare your project to the DFG. There are no deadlines you have to meet. You can really prepare your project very well. We arrive at our funding decisions based on peer review, so unbiased peer review based on the scientific criteria, so the scientific quality of a project is what really comes first. And in the review process, we also take into account your individual career phase. So if you're a researcher just starting out, or if you're a full professor or experienced researcher, this is taken into account when we review your projects. And also family-related career breaks are taken into consideration only in your benefit. So none of this will be taken against you. So this means that in general for the DFG, you do not need to make a research project fit into any thematic calls, into any strategic priorities, or into any deadlines. You can really take your time to prepare your project really well and submit it for funding with the DFG. So how do we support international collaboration? We have two main ways. One is for international researchers to do bilateral research in collaboration with German-based researchers. The DFG maintains collaboration agreements with organizations all over the world. For example, here in Latin America, we have the agreements with these 13 organizations in 6 countries. Here in Colombia, we have UNIANDES, who are so kindly hosting us, and Universidad de Antioquia, where the researchers can, in collaboration with a German researcher, submit also in standing open procedure a project at any time, and then it's going to be parallelly reviewed. But you're here today to hear about how you're going to do your research in Germany. Also very important, if you want to do your research in Germany, these are the eligibility requirements. So you must have your doctorate. You can only submit to the DFG your own project if you have a doctorate, if you have finished your doctorate. You either must work in Germany or want to work in Germany, so we only really fund the research project part in Germany, and you can be of any age, so we do not have any age restrictions in this regard. Here you have a little overview of the different career phases from PhD students actually up until full professorship. And then underneath you have the different programs, the individual programs, these are only a selection, that the DFG offers you that you yourself can apply to. And then you also always have the possibility to apply directly to an already funded project by the DFG, in which case you do not get into contact with the DFG, but with the principal investigator. And I will give you more information on how to do this later. So starting out with the initial postdoc research phase, so you just finished your doctorate, you do not have any experience doing your own independent research yet. So in this case, the Walter Benjamin program with the Walter Benjamin position in Germany is perfect for you. The Walter Benjamin project or position offers you a 2-year position. So this is maybe something that's very important to differentiate from DAD. The DFG does not work with scholarships. We work with project funding, which can include a salaried position. So this means that you are doing your research at a German institution who will employ you as a researcher. It's not a scholarship, it's really an employment position, and the DFG funds your salaries in this case. So with the Walter Benjamin program, it's for your first independent research project. It's up to 2 years, it's a smaller project. And you are, in this case, working under the supervision of a host researcher who will introduce you to his scientific network in Germany, who explain to you how it works in Germany at university, who can give you any support that you need. So this means that with a proposal that you send to the DFG, you need an acceptance letter from the university who will host you and will become your employer, and also the acceptance letter from the host researcher agreeing to supervise you and aid you in any things that you need. Then we have the individual research grant, which is actually a program that you can apply to at any stage of your postdoc career, so from initial until full professorship. And what's really interesting for international researcher is the temporary position for principal investigator, which means that the DFG funds a research project for up to 3 years. These projects can then be renewed at a German university or research institution that once again becomes your employer. You get a salaried position as well as project funds for, where is it? Here. So with the, you can apply to the DFG for funds such as communication, travel costs, workshop, instrumentation, publication costs, staff, so any research staff, PhD students who help you on a project. All this can be included in your proposal to the DFG. And you apply directly to the DFG, but once again, since the university or research institution becomes your employer, you need also an acceptance letter from this institution alongside your application. And then we have the Eminöter program, which is for more advanced postdocs. The Eminöter program, its aim is to give you a path to early academic independence by leading your own junior research group. At the end of it, you are the goal is that you are appointable as for a full professorship. And two things that are really important to mention about the Eminenta program. The Eminenta program is a bit more competitive than other DFG programs. In general, the DFG has a approval rate of around 25 to 30%. The Walter Benjamin project, for example, is a bit higher. It's up to 35%, depending on the area. The Eminenta program is more competitive. We only have an approval rate of around 20%, so 20% of the projects submitted to DFG get funded. And also, since it's a longer program for up to 6 years, and at the end you're expected to become a full professor, it's also expected that you stay on working in Germany. So this is a program for those of you who maybe really want to build your career in Germany, in the German research system, and stay on. You need to have 2 to 4 years of outstanding postdoctoral research experience. As I said, it's a competitive, so you really have to have a good, excellent curriculum with international experience. If you work in medicine, this can up to be 6 years of experience. You also need, of course, a very good project for a junior research group. So you and your junior researchers are going to do a project together. It runs up to 6 years. And once again, the German institution, the German university, becomes your employer, so you also need an acceptance letter of this university. And then we always have the possibility of doing your postdoc or even your PhD at a project funded by the DFG. So in this case, it's interesting also for the PhD students who they themselves cannot yet apply directly to the DFG. It's also carried out generally at a German research institution. How long? This depends really on how long the project is going to run, being funded by the DFG, and also at what point of the project you're applying to. So if you're really when the project's starting out or in the middle of the project, you get a salaried position and of course also a share of the consumables and equipment, and you apply directly to the principal investigator of the project. So either you know a German investigator who is going to propose a project to the DFG, you can ask them to be included in the project, or you can look at the university and institution websites if there are any openings. How do you find those? Or how do you find in general information on the German research system, on university and on DFG projects that may have open positions? Or also if you want to get inspiration of what kind of projects that the DFG funds, we have 2 databases. The first is GEPRIS. GEPRIS, you can find them at the top of the DFG website. There are the links to these 2 databases. It shows all of the past and current funded DFG projects. So, and you can filter by area, you can filter by the program, so you can look at what other Walter Benjamin positions that are being funded in your area, in your discipline. You can fund by current ones, and there you can also look for investigators, for researchers who can be your host researcher or who you can contact if they have any open positions. And you can also look then there where they are working, and then you can look for these institutions at GEDIT, which lists all of the German research institutions, so they're federal, state, independent, private institutions, all the research institutions of the university. So there you can really also there filter by the discipline, by the region in Germany, and by the size. If this was not enough information, you can scan this QR code and will arrive at this individual grants how to guide website, where colleagues in Germany have really a lot of more information. There are how to find your perfect program for you. There are checklists for the applications, and there are also the contacts of the person responsible for each of the disciplines, for the scientific disciplines and sub areas. There is a person responsible at the DFG that you can reach out for more information on how, for example, biology or art history is treated in Germany and how you can best apply to the DFG. You can find all this information on our website here. Or you can reach out to us directly. Me and my colleague Raquel, we are going to be here in the foyer, and we can give you any more information that you need right now. You can also contact us at the Latin America office at this email at the top. You can find more information on all the DFG programs on our German or English website, but we also, the Latin America office has a website with specific information relevant for Latin America in Spanish. You can also reach out directly to my colleagues in Germany who are specifically there to answer any doubts about research careers. And you can follow us on LinkedIn, where we publicize any calls that we have open with our partner organizations in Latin America, or we also tell you when we have participating in such events such as today with more information and any other information you have about programs. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention, and I think I'm going to pass on to a video. Yeah, thank you.
Before the video, the Alexander von Humboldt are presenting their fellowships, so Jenny Hernandez is going to present for you about Alexander von Humboldt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning again, everybody. So I'm going to tell you a bit about the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. The Alexander von Humboldt Foundation is it's a foundation that grants scholarships for postdoc positions. So once you finish your PhD and you are an standing researcher, you can apply to the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. So this is what we do. So we fund researchers. So you can apply with any project that you like. So it's not about the specific thematic of the project, but what we fund is the researcher. So if you're an standing researcher, you can apply for the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. So we have 30,000 alumni worldwide, and so once you become a Humboldtian, you'll always be a Humboldtian. So that's very good, and this is what I love about the Humboldt Foundation. So this is what we do, and so we have research fellowships for starting and experienced researchers, and so we have two main programs: the Humboldt Fellowship, the Georg Foster Fellowship, and the Alexander von Humboldt Professorship, which is Germany's most valuable research grant. So this is about 5 million euros. That is granted for the professorship. So, here we have a table of what we do. So there are no quotas. So we have the Humboldt Fellowship and the Georg Foster Fellowship. The Georg Foster Fellowship is for developing countries, for developing projects, but you can apply to either of them. So it doesn't really. So if you're from Colombia, don't feel obliged to apply to get the Georg Foster. You can apply to the Humboldt Fellowship. So there are no quotas, neither for individual countries nor for specific academic disciplines. And so the only thing that matters is the applicant and its academic record. And so we support people on our projects. So most of the funding from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation comes from federal funds, so from the BMBF, and but also a huge part comes from the foreign office, so the federal foreign office. So this is also kind of a sort of a scholarship for external relationships. So this is what I really love about the Humboldt Foundation. So it was established in 1953, and so this is Alexander von Humboldt that traveled Latin America and explored. And also he was also funding researchers to do the research. So ideas can only bear fruit if they take root in many minds. So to create a big network of Humboldtians is kind of one of their main focus. So to foster ideas and people. So about 900 awards are granted every year. There are around 140 alumni associations. So there's the Humboldt Club in Colombia, which is the president of the Humboldt Club in Colombia, and there are around 2,300 research days in Germany every year. So there's not only the Humboldt Fellowships or the Georg Fosters, but also the advanced experienced researchers as well. So this is our network of Humboldtians around the world, around 59 Nobel laureates within these 30,000. 40 conferences every year, so you can, once you're a Humboldtian, you can apply to organize a Humboldt Collect in your country, and this to have like a scientific conference funded by the Humboldt Foundation. And so this is also what we do. So okay. So around the world, most people that get the funding from the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation come from Europe, Asia, North America, but here in Central and South America, it's actually growing. So it's something that we work on every day to try to keep growing this number of Humboldtians coming from South and Central America. So this is the program. So we have So if you finish your PhD up to 4 years, so up to 4 years of your doctorate, you can apply for a postdoctoral fellowship, and you can apply either for a Humboldt Research Fellowship or a Georg Foster Research Fellowship. So this is for just young researchers that are just finishing their PhD. And also, the people from Germany can apply to the Federal Research Fellowship to do their postdoc abroad. So if you are a Humboldtian, you can be a host in your country and bring a German researcher, for example, to Colombia, to Peru, to Ecuador, to do the research in your country. So Germans can also use this fellowship. For experienced researchers, also up to 12 years after doctorate, so there's also the Humboldt Research Fellowship. The difference between these two fellowships is the time. So for the postdoctoral researchers, you can stay in Germany up to 2 years. For experienced researchers, it's around a year and a half. So that's the difference. So between, and both scholarships actually pay really well, and also they have support for families. So actually, they pay a little bit more than DAD, and a little bit more than DAD. So for experienced researchers, so we have for up to 15 years after doctorate. I was thinking about this morning. I was like, is it 15 years since I finished my PhD? I was like, oh my God. So you can apply for a Max Planck Humboldt Research Award, and up to 18 years after, so you can apply to, so nominated actually, this is for the Friedrich Wilhelm Bessel Research Award. And so this is the program. So also we have all the information on the website. So if you have any questions, I will be around the whole day also if you want to chat about the Humboldt Foundation. And so this is something that we have heard about. So also if you've had a child, so that they would take that into account. So it says 4 years and a half, and so that's with all other type of career breaks if you had to take care of a relative. So this is this. Yeah, and I already said this. So the difference is actually the time. This is very interesting actually if you are a professor already in your country. Because sometimes we get sabbatical years or sabbatical semesters. So if you want to spend your sabbatical year or your sabbatical semester in Germany, you can apply for this award here, for example, and be there 6 months. Or what some people do is they apply for a year and they stay 6 months, and they keep the other 6 months for another stay. So they can divide the states in 2 or 3 states. So that's very convenient actually. So some people have 6 months, others have a year of sabbatical. So there are also no deadlines. So you can work on your project carefully and prepare a good project, because being such a good award, then it's very competitive. So you have to take your time, and so there are no deadlines to apply. And so this is 2,670 euros per month, which is very good. Actually, this year they increased these values, and this is for living in Germany. It's actually very good. So this money to do a postdoc in Germany. And if you're an experienced researcher, you get even more money. So you get even more money. Okay? So for postdocs, your PhD should be about average. If you see, should I apply? So you see, well, I publish most of my fellow students published just one paper, I published 3. So you're like, okay, so I'm above average of what my colleagues publish. So academic publications, agreement with academic host. So this is also important to have somebody to host you in Germany, and so you prepare your proposal. Yeah, so it could be related to what the professor does, or we could be kind of on the side, and so knowledge of German and or English. So it depends, no? So for humanities, most of the research in Germany is done in German, so it depends on the field that you're going, but if you're going scientific research, so English is enough. Yeah, so this is what you need to do your to prepare your applications. So this is one program that I really like, and it's also very interesting for Colombia, but also because you don't have to have a PhD to apply for this program. So if you have a master's, you can apply to this program. So the International Climate Protection Fellowships, and actually 11 fellows from Colombia we have had. So it's very good. So 11 people from Colombia have been granted this International Climate Protection Fellowship, and this is for climate protection and resource conservation. So for people that are working in non-governmental organizations, public administration, politics, academia, or businesses, and then would like to conduct an independent project agreed with a host in Germany. So this is also very interesting, the International Climate Protection Fellowship. And so this is the application requirements, only the bachelor or equivalent common degree. So even if you don't really need to have a master, with the bachelor is enough. But it's also that it's your experience. I have a master's, but I've been working with the communities for a long time on climate-related things, so I already qualify because I work on that area in my country. So clearly visible leadership potential, theme-related work experience, and successful. So this is a 2-year fellowship as well, so 2 years. Okay, so if you can, for advice to apply, you can go to our web page and then click advice, and then you can go there to find advice, or you can ask me here during the day as well. And also, so I'm going to tell you a few details. I won't take long about the foundation in Colombia. So this is the fellowships granted. So see, Colombians have applied for Humboldt fellowships, for Georg Foster fellowships. So this is our difference. So you can apply to either of them. It doesn't really matter. So this is the applications we have received. It's very competitive. So the applications we have received. For example, here for the Georg Foster. In 2014, so in 2018, 14 applications, 50 applications. See, this is how competitive it is. So 3 were granted, 1 in 2019, but see here how it has gone up. So in the last years, the number of applications has come down, but the number of scholarships granted has gone up. So that's something that has been mentioned here today, is that the Colombian scientists are really high quality, and they can propose really high quality projects, and the Latin American, not only Colombia, Peru, Ecuador. So they can propose really high quality projects and then get them funded through the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. And this is the comparison of the 2 tables, and this is, okay, I don't know what happened here. So this is in total. We have had 87 Humboldt and Georg Foster Research Fellowships granted to Colombian citizens, so 87. So it's good. We want more, of course. We want more. So if you want to apply, just find me in the coffee break, and then we can talk more. And then when you get the scholarship, there are return scholarships to come back to your country, to come back to Colombia. You can get new research tapes of up to 3 months, so this is good. There is the institute cooperation programs around projects around 55,000 euros, alumni awards, Humboldt lectures, collects, as I said, so there are conferences. You can organize a conference and get them funded through the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation and the Humboldt clubs that we work here in Colombia. So these are the contacts. So in Barranquilla, it's Professor Bernardo Uribe. So most countries have one ambassador. But here in Colombia, we have 2 ambassadors, and I work with the Humboldt Club, but also I work as ambassador, and I say, well, if you're a Humboldtian, you should be an ambassador of the Humboldt Foundation as well. So in Barranquilla, Professor Bernardo Uribe. In Bogotá, we have Professor Mónica Ibagón. She's at Universidad Externado, and here I am at Universidad de Los Andes. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So here is so our webpage, Humboldt minus foundation.de, and so and the web email info@abh.de. So feel free to contact them or to contact me, whatever you need. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jenny. And now we will have a video statement from Victoria Bodnorova, the regional coordinator from EURAXESS, so all related to European funding. And Sandra, I think we can start.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Bodnarova, and I am the regional coordinator for EURAXESS in Latin America and the Caribbean, based in Colombia. Today, I would like to talk to you about the different EU funding opportunities. But before doing so, I would like to present briefly EURAXESS. EURAXESS is a European Commission's initiative funded by the European Commission since 20 years. This is our main website. What you can see on the slide, you can get to it as euraxess.org. Our mission is to help researchers and their family members to settle down in Europe, but also outside of Europe. We have 9 offices in 9 different global hubs that help researchers with looking for funding, opportunities, fellowships, and grants for their research in different European countries, including, of course, Germany. On our website, you are going to find a database of many jobs and funding opportunities. Normally, we have between 10 and 12,000 vacancies available per day. You have the opportunity to, of course, filter these opportunities. So you are going to get to the one that you are interested in. You can find positions for PhDs, for postdocs, for research stays, but also other opportunities for researchers that are already more experienced. On the website, you can also find a part that is called career development, which is also very interesting for researchers that would like to, for example, take a quiz and they're wondering whether they would like to stay in academia or they would like to move to industry. We have a part that is called partnering. On this particular part of the website, you will be able to sign in to create your own profile as an organization and search the different organizations that are already logged in and registered in our database to look for partners, for example, in your research project or for other collaborations. We have the information and assistance and national portals. The colleagues are based in 43 European countries, and these European EURAXESS service centers offer information and assistance to researchers and their family members when it comes to accommodation, social security, information about visas, residence permits, how to open a bank account, etc. And of course, least but not last, is the EURAXESS Worldwide button, where you will be able to find the 9 global hubs, including Latin America and the Caribbean. On the login and register, you can create your profile either as a researcher or a research organization. In Latin America and the Caribbean, we have 2 offices, one in Colombia and the other one in Brazil. And together with my colleague Charlotte, who's based in Rio, we are the EURAXESS LAC team. One of our missions, objectives, is to promote the European Union's framework program for research and innovation. The 9th framework program of the EU is called Horizon Europe, and it has a duration of 7 years. It started in 2021, and it will last until 2027. The budget of this framework program is 95.5 billion euros for a period of 7 years. As you can see on the slide, the program is divided into 3 pillars. The first pillar is called Excellent Science, where we are going to focus mainly on individual researchers' grants and fellowships. The second one is called Global Challenges and European Industrial Competitiveness. Here we are going to focus on collaborative projects in all areas of research, innovation, and technology. And the third pillar, which is called Innovative Europe, is going to focus on financing startups through the newly established European Innovation Council. The European Commission, through Horizon Europe, funds PhD programs through the Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, either its doctoral network or co-fund actions, but also we have the opportunities for PhD students in the so-called ERC teams, or the European Research Council teams, which offer oftentimes positions for PhD students. We have opportunities for postdoctoral fellowships as well, mainly under the postdoctoral fellowship action through the Marie Sklodowska-Curie, or also you can find opportunities through our EURAXESS jobs portal, or also within the ERC teams. The frontier research is offered by the grants of the European Research Council, where we have individual grants for principal investigators from anywhere in the world. And last but not least, we have also the opportunities for collaboration. We offer funding for collaborative projects, especially under Pillar 2 within the clusters and the missions, but also we have some collaborative project opportunities within Pillar 1, especially under the staff exchange and doctoral networks. In Europe, we have the so-called member states of the European Union. We have 27 of them that are involved in the Horizon Europe Framework Program, and also the 18 so-called associated countries to Horizon Europe that contribute directly to the budget, and you can collaborate also with these countries. You can send researchers to them, you can receive researchers from those countries, and of course, you can look for partners in all these European countries. How can you participate? We have 2 forms of participation. You can either participate as an individual researcher, especially through the Pillar 1, through the programs of the Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, or the European Research Council grants. Through these different programs, we have annual calls until 2027, when the current Horizon Europe program will end. We have opportunities to researchers of all nationalities and research fields. And the second type, the second form, how you can participate is as a legal entity entering so-called consortia. If you want to enter into a collaborative project funded by Horizon Europe, you have to have at least 3 partners from 3 different European countries to be included as a Colombian partner, institution, or any legal entity. When it comes to eligibility to receive funding from the European Commission, you as Colombian entities, legal entities, institutions, both private and academic, you are eligible to receive automatic funding. I would like to mention briefly the 2 opportunities for individual researchers. The first one is the program called Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions, which is the main researchers training program of the European Union. It's the most international program that we have within Horizon Europe. We have something that we call III, which is the mobility, geographic, intersectoral, and interdisciplinary. We have opportunities for PhD candidates, for postdocs, and also for more experienced researchers in all areas of research, innovation, technology. And of course, researchers are welcome from anywhere in the world. The second possibility under Pillar 1 in Excellent Science are the grants offered by the European Research Council, where we are talking about frontier research, about projects that are going to be excellent, innovative, high impact, high risk. We offer these grants to researchers of any nationality from anywhere in the world, and also from all disciplines of research, technology, and development. We have grants which have a duration between 5 to 6 years. And as far as the budget is concerned, we have projects between 1.5 up to 10 million euros per project. I would like to briefly mention the postdoctoral fellowships of the Marie Curie Actions because the call of 2024 is right now open. This opportunity is offered to researchers that already have a doctoral degree and they do not have more than 8 years of full-time research experience since they've received their doctoral degree. The calls are annual. The current call opened on the 23rd of April, and it will close on the 11th of September. Again, these fellowships are offered to any nationality, any research field. You need to find a host institution anywhere in Europe with a supervisor, so you can write a project in any area of research. We have something that we call a mobility rule, and that means that you cannot apply to or with a research institution in a country where you have lived or worked for more than 12 months in the past 3 years prior to the deadline of the call, which this year is the 11th of September. We have a lot of information for you, which you can find on our website, on the link that you can see on this slide. We have done a lot of webinars, interviews, information sessions, where we share a lot of practical and also theoretical information, so you can find everything that you need. We also have the opportunity for luck institutions that would like to host a researcher from Europe through the postdoctoral fellowships from the Marie Curie Actions. This is the so-called global modality. And through this modality, luck institutions, including Colombian institutions, can receive researchers and they can stay at your institution for up to 2 years doing their postdoctoral research project. And this stay is going to be completely funded by the European Commission. Another opportunity through the Marie Curie Actions is something that we call staff exchanges, which is very popular in Latin America and the Caribbean. These are collaborative projects offered to legal entities, both in Colombia and outside. We are talking about projects that have a duration of maximum 4 years. And what it will fund, as the name says, are going to be staff exchanges, are going to be these stays in the member states where the partners are based. You need at least 2 countries, European countries, to be able to enter into a consortia. And you as a Colombian partner, Colombian institution, can be the 3rd, the 4th, or the 5th, or even more, of course, depending on the size of the consortium. This year's call is going to open on the 19th of September. Therefore, you still have time to prepare a good, solid project, and of course, look for European partners in case you don't have them. The stays have a duration between a minimum of 1 month and a maximum of 12 months throughout the 4-year period of the project. These are some statistics from the 2022 call of the staff exchanges. The luck institutions have been very active in the participation, as you can see on this slide, including Colombia, where we had 8 organizations that participated from Colombia in 6 different projects. And lastly, I would like to mention the opportunity to collaborate within Pillar 2 of Horizon Europe. As you can see, we have 6 clusters, 6 different areas of research, science, innovation, and technology that you can collaborate with European partners with, or also partners from anywhere in the world. The most important website is going to be the Funding and Tenders portal, where you can find all the calls that are open or are going to be open still this year. You can find all the information that you need, how to apply for this particular collaborative project, where to look for partners, how to get these reference documents through the portal, where you can read the objectives, the impact that the European Commission is expecting when you write a collaborative project. Here, just to remind you, you need at least 3 partners from 3 different European countries in order to enter as a Colombian legal entity. Here, I would like to share my contact information, my email address, and also the social media where we are present. Through the QR code that you can see on this slide, you will be able to register to our monthly newsletters, where we share with you the latest calls for proposals, where we share with you the events, information sessions, webinars that we offer to the research community here in Latin America and the Caribbean. Thank you very much for your attention.
So, yeah, thank you to Victoria Bodnarova. And at this point, I hope you're completely overwhelmed and maybe a little bit lost. It's a lot of information, we know, and you may get a glimpse as well that to do research in Germany and Europe, it's bottom up. There's lots of opportunities. What we expect of a researcher in Germany as well is to be autonomously working, to get you have to be a researcher to get all this information as well. But we will also be asking or responding all your questions you may have. But right now you're just finishing all these pitches. So to give you an overview, and I repeat that we have 75 persons right now connected online as well. Those of you who are connected online, of course, won't have the opportunity to ask in person their questions, but you have seen the contact information, and of course we do all the best to answer your questions when you send us the email. And as I said before, just stay in touch with the DAAD office in this region. Each week we do also information sessions where you can ask your questions as well. You can call us and so on, so no problem, we will do it. But now we come to the last part from the morning session with this information about all the opportunities you have. Because you have heard that in order to get a research position and a scholarship and so on, it's really basic that you get in touch with the universities and the German teachers and researchers as well. So today we're really lucky to have 3 of the German universities present here, who will do a short pitch of what they are doing. But because not all the universities in Germany are doing the same, there are different types of universities and so on. That's what we can explain you as the DAAD and what we usually do. But which way to hear it from themselves. So welcome first of all to the Freie Universität Berlin, Christian Lazar, who has an office in Sao Paulo, but came all the way here to Bogotá to introduce the FU Berlin. Go ahead, Christian, welcome.
Thank you, Reinhard, for the kind welcoming words. And yes, like he said, I will be telling you a little bit about Freie Universität. As we have little time, I will try to keep it short, and maybe I will even skip some slides. You can take advantage of the fact that I will be here all afternoon, and then we can talk a little bit more into detail. So yeah, have many of you been to Berlin already? Some of you? Okay. Let's increase those numbers, definitely. This can't go on like this. So yeah, just a short overview. The numbers that I like to pay the more attention to are the ones that are in the green boxes, which are basically internationalization numbers. And this 135 countries are present on our campus, and 38% of our starting at doctoral level of our researchers are international as well. So like the city, Berlin, the university is also a very, very international place. Die Freie Universität occupies the first place in the DFG funding atlas as the institution in Germany that captures the most third-party funding for social sciences and humanities. That is something that I also like to always highlight. It's considered the number 9 in Germany, depending on the ranking, of course. Sometimes it's number 4, 7. And as you can see, the campus is a little bit outside of the city center, but you know, it's a 25 subway ride, basically. And so it's not that far away. And one thing that I also like to stress, it is the number 1 destination for Humboldt scholars, which basically means that scientific excellence is very valued at Freie Universität. These are the fields of research and or knowledge that you can research in. So you can see a little bit of everything. Natural sciences, veterinary medicine. It's one of the 5 universities that offers that in Germany. Economics, social sciences, humanities and cultural studies. And here we have all the pure, you know, like hard sciences, physics, biology, chemistry, earth sciences, mathematics, but no engineering. So the absences are basically engineering, agricultural studies, and architecture. We also offer medicine, and at the Charité, which is the city's university clinic, and is regarded as one of the best of continental Europe. Dahlem Research School is like the umbrella organization for everything about doctoral studies at Freie Universität, which means extracurricular activities, which means support, mentoring, and everything. Very broad overview, there are structured programs for PhDs, but you can also do an independent PhD, which is the majority of the cases in Germany. But at Freie Universität, we have tried to, you know, offer some structural alternatives as well, since they prove to be sometimes a little better for the integration for international students. We have 4 excellence clusters, which are institutions that have additional DFG funding through their excellence initiative. And these are like the high-end research institutions and the topics of the universities that have them. It's not all universities in Germany that have clusters, so it's very interesting to look at them. And in the case of Freie Universität, applied mathematics is one of the foci. Contestations of the liberal script is the other one, which is international relations, political science, and how the, you know, economic order of liberalism is or is not working. Temporal communities, which is global literary studies, and neurology in cooperation with Charité. Berlin, so this is where the campus is. It's in the neighborhood Dahlem. In the very near surroundings, there are plenty of other institutes that have various levels of cooperations with our university. So Fritz Haber, Max Planck, as you can see, Helmholtz. And this is inserted into the Berlin Scientific Hub, which offers a various range of other institutions all around the city-state. And this, on the other hand, is also inserted within the Berlin University Alliance, which means that there are accredited courses between the universities and also some central facilities for internationalization. For example, the Berlin Center for Global Engagement, for example, that focuses specifically on funding and cooperation with the Global South, for example. And the infrastructures are shared, which is also for, you know, for working at other labs or having access to other facilities, very helpful. And this, on the other hand, is also inserted within Junio Europa, which is the European network that's consisting of these 11 universities. And currently, they're trying to develop further formats of cooperation, also within research mobility, within this network, which means that it's not in place yet, but the goal is that you can research at Freie Universität, spent some time at Complutense de Madrid or Bologna, and so on. So Berlin, it looks like this always, I swear. So yeah, no, but I mean, it's a very culturally diverse city. It's a very exciting town, very dynamic, and culturally significant. So if you would like to find out some more, trivia about the city, you can scan this QR code. But the things that I like to mention is more bridges than Venice. Most people don't imagine that. And more museums than rainy days, which is saying a lot for Europe. And yeah, funding opportunities, very interesting. Better to ask me afterwards, but for all levels we have. So if you have a master's degree and want to explore your options for a PhD, we have funding for that. If you want to do a doctorate, a full doctorate, there's also options. This BMS program is specifically for mathematics. This is a scholarship from the state of Berlin. So for the postdoc stage, we have plenty of options, short-term, long-term. And if you're a professor or researcher established, and if you want to have a short-term stay in Berlin, so there's also the Global Faculty Program and seed funding for projects as well. So this is my contact info, and muchas gracias.
So thanks again, Christian Lassat from Berlin. We jump to the south of Germany. I don't know if there are much more sunny days than bridges in Munich, but you will tell us. Sören Metz is the representative of the Technical University of Munich. The floor is yours. Sören, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Reinhard. I'm actually not quite sure if we have, but I'm quite sure that we have more sunny days than Berlin, but this shouldn't be the criteria for you to choose your research stay in Germany, But maybe like coming up with a show-off slide, Angeber slide, for all of you who know German. But this is actually not, well, what does it actually mean, all these rankings? If you really go into deep diving into rankings, you see a lot of criteria which makes sense and doesn't really make sense. So have a look at these rankings. Have a look at these rankings in detail. What do they mean? We put them on the slide because we perform quite well in them. If we won't perform quite well, we won't put them on the slide. So please be aware of the rankings. There are rankings for like almost everything, and please find the ranking which really makes sense for you. Coming a little bit, what really makes sense is speaking about Munich as a European innovation hub. This is really, really nice, and this is one of the, coming back. So this pillar is the academic landscape. So these are other universities like the Ludwig Maximilian University, Leibniz Rechenzentrum, other universities, research association, research institutes, which are all based in, so all of these black dots here are one of these institutions. So all which are in close proximity to Technical University of Munich, and actually our main partner within research is Ludwig Maximilian University, even though the two presidents don't like themselves so much, but these are like research is really happening regionally, like locally. You reach out to people who are like living next door, or I don't know, who are doing their research also in the same region. This is super important. And then we have, and this is quite unique when it comes to Germany, we have a big concentration of companies and also private entities who do research and innovation on site. So we have, for example, a very big Siemens Research Center directly on our campus in Giessen. And then the third pillar, which there would be startups. So this is what really grew in the last 10 to 15 years. So Munich is, together with Berlin, also one of the startups hubs within Germany, and especially when it comes to deep tech. So everything related to AI, deep tech technologies, and everything you can do research at our university. Speaking a little bit about our departments, so we, about our schools and departments, so we completely reformalized and reorganized the whole universities. We had 15 faculties before, now we have 7 schools, starting with computation, information and technology, and even mathematics is part of this. engineering and design. Design normally just stands for architecture here. Natural sciences, physics, bioscience, bioengineering, chemistry. The non-organic part of the, when it comes to chemistry and also to bioscience. Then we have a whole big life science department with all the sub areas, also agricultural sciences, forest sciences, and if you would like to do research about this, then you're on the right place here. Medicine and health, so we have a very big medicine school, but also our health and sports science are part of this, and then our TUM School of Management, which is not a real business school, so we are not like a traditional business school. All of our students and researchers have to do something which is mostly being related to technology and management. So you can't just purely study or research economics, for example. So you always have to combine this with any of our other faculties. And our newest addition is our social science and technology school, where we have politics and technology, science and technology studies, and also an educational department. A little bit about what I told you about the whole restructure of the university. So we try to fit in this new matrix, where we have on the right side the schools I already told you about, these 7 schools, but we and we talked about these global challenges, and also, so normally these global challenges can't be solved within silos, which are still within very much our university administration, but when it comes to topics, so biomedical engineering, so the idea with our integrated research institute is that these integrated research institutes touch on, the main idea would be to touch on almost every schools, but at least 2 or 3 of these schools. Robotics and machine intelligence, also materials, energy and process engineering, data sciences, biotechnology and sustainability. And the main idea is really to open this, the silo structure within the university, to really foster solutions which are out of the box and really interdisciplinary. It's not a very easy task, I must say. So it's a public university, and you all know, if you have been to a German public university, you all know how difficult it is, and everyone, so there are a whole of lot of barriers and also laws which are not very easy to, I would say, to tackle, but we are on the way to somehow deal with these challenges. A little bit about the doctorate. So the prerequisites you all know. So we have, we would recently introduce tuition fees as one of the only public universities within Germany, but not for doctorates or for postdocs. So the doctorate is completely for free, and it will stay like this. And again, I must stress, you always have to have a supervisor. So as we told you, you will hear this like several times during the day already. And so you will have to just show anything in English, so we don't really stress anything in German. So we don't have literature or German studies or anything like this. So if not, then you go to another university. But German obviously is a plus, and especially when it comes to social integration and everything, it really helps you. And especially if you are working in a team, or if you have an applied research project where you work with a company or anything, normally not everyone is super fluent in German, in English. So, and really helps to be to have these language skills. A little bit about the doctorate. So we don't have structured doctorates, as you heard from the FU Berlin. So they have structured doctorates, and you have application deadlines and everything. We don't have this, but we have basically 2 ways. One is to apply for open doctoral position. So we have a website where you have this. These are normally funded, so by the BMBF or by the DFG or any other research funding organization, or even some very funny things like the German Portal Organization for Industrial Ports and something like this. So yeah, so this means funding is already embedded in this position, but you have to really fit in when it comes to prerequisites. So you really have to fill in all the boxes they want to have, and then you will sign a work contract with the university. And the other, so I would say these are like 10 to 15% of our doctoral students. And then we have the other one, which is like the chair-centered, chair-oriented, where you develop a research proposal and then you propose this to a potential TUM supervisor, and then you can apply for funding from DFG or DAD or any other funding agency, or you can even look for own funding, and that's it. So a little bit about what we also have is when you are on the postdoc level, we understood that normally it's a little bit difficult to come to the university when you don't have pre-contact. So this is, the fellowship amount is mostly similar to what you have seen from Alexander von Humboldt, and I think we will even increase this a little bit. And we have this global postdoc fellowship for you to, even if you don't have already initial contacts to the university, we will help you with this. And so these are 10 to 15 fellowships twice a year, and the next call will be in the end of the year. So reach out to us. And again, you always have to have a supervisor. So we can help you with this, but we are always praying this to the crowd here. So look for a supervisor. And who is looking for a supervisor? You know best. You are in your research field. So you're embedded in your research field. Look, like the easiest way is to really use keywords. So just do the most important things you are doing or you want to develop within your research. Put this into Google and then put in FU Berlin or University of Giessen or TUM, and then see what comes out. And this is really the way you can work. You can also use one of these very big databases Laura showed you from the DFG, but you have to start. And now again, sunny pictures. We all know it's just shining. The sun is always shining. No, but I would say one big advantage is that you have the Alps, and you see the Alps here, and it's very nearby. So 1 hour, 1.5 hours by train. This is a super nice landscape, but you always have to do your research. Research first, and then you can go to the Alps. If you happen to go to Sao Paulo, Christian, Laura, Raquel, and I, we are all based in Sao Paulo in the German Center for Research and Innovation. So this is the Copam building here, just on top of it. Very nice city, Sao Paulo. So if you happen to be there, reach out to us. Thank you, and I hand over to Reinhard again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sören. And as you can see, each university in Germany is its own universe. There is so much opportunities. We surprise ourselves also. And just let me say, what Sören said is really important. There is rankings, of course, but we do recommend you not to look for the best German university overall, but to look for the best German university for what you are looking for. Because we have really big universities, small universities, we have everything in Germany, and there is no low quality university in Germany, to say so, and some of the smaller ones are really specialized in items that will fit actually what you are really looking for. So feel free to look for all of them, but of course today we have those 3 special guests, and now it's a really pleasure to invite Verena Dolle, Professor Verena Dolle. She's not from International Office as the fellow colleagues, she's a professor, so she's one of those persons you may be looking for as a tutor to guide you through your PhD, for instance. But today she came all along from Germany to be here this week, and she will introduce you to the Justus Liebig University of Giessen. So Verena, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reinhard, for the organization of this event. Okay. Thank you very much, Reinhard, for the organization of this interesting event. Thank you very much, University of Andes, for hosting us here. And I didn't expect, and as Reinhard said, that the event is that competitive. So I have to compete with my colleagues from Munich and from Berlin, and I do my very best. And I will start with this picture. You see all the sun shines in Giessen as well. Well, Giessen and Colombia to start with. The Vice President said it this morning in her opening remarks. We have a very long tradition of cooperation with Colombia, with Colombian institutions. We started actually in 1963, and we are the oldest German university cooperating with Colombia. And we have very close cooperation with Colombian partners in all disciplines. We started with University of Andes in 1967. So we celebrated our 50 years, no, even more, a couple of years ago. So, and we have set up this information point here. Then with Universidad de Antioquia in 2011, Nacional de Colombia and Universidad del Rosario. And we have a very strong research cooperation in different fields and a joint PhD training in the frame of these German Colombian Centers of Excellence in Research and Training. The first one was mentioned by Reinhard this morning as well, Cooperation Center of Excellence in Marine Sciences, CEMARIN, funded by DAAD. You've seen the figures. And German Colombian Peace Institute, CAPAS, with Stefan Peters, a colleague from Politology, Political Sciences, who is working in Bogotá, and who is accompanying the process of peace, transitional justice, etc. So important here for this country. And we are very proud of it, that we have this Instituto CAPAS here. There are more networks, research networks for sustainability, which is very important and a very critical and important topic for everybody working in higher education and for the future, for the global future, Europe, Latin America, etc. And as Reinhard already said, we have this project funding by the DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service, and federal ministries. Well, I will briefly show you some topics, but I will skip some slides as well, because you're waiting for the coffee break, and I will be here all day until 4 o'clock, so feel free to ask questions later. So, data and profile. It was founded in 1607 as Ludoviciana, and it's the second largest university in the state of Hessen. We have about 24,500 students. That means we are smaller than TUM and Freie Universität. We have about 5,000 employees at the hospital, at the Giessen location, and 5,700 employees and about 400 professorships. So we are in a little bit smaller scale, but we are still very interesting. I didn't ask you if you have been to Giessen before, if you know Giessen. Yeah, for sure. We are in the middle, in the center of Germany, and one of our advantages is we are only 1.5 hours away from Frankfurt Airport. So it's very central, and it's a small, attractive, green city. I didn't show you the slides with the sunshine and the hilly hills and green landscape. You have to imagine that, or you have to come here. So, while we are our founder is Justus Liebig, chemist, and working in natural sciences in the 19th century. Then we are specializing in new fields of research, from experimental psychology and insect biotechnology. So that is one of our very strong topics. And we have several Nobel Prize winners, such as Wilhelm Röntgen and Wangari Maathai. So we are called a differentiated comprehensive university. It's a little bit weird in English, I would say. It's the Volluniversität. And as the colleagues before, we offer everything but engineering and except architecture. But we start with law, and you can do economics, humanities, social sciences, psychology, physical science, and then in the natural sciences, everything to veterinary medicine and medicine as well. Research. Well, we have some large associations, Forschungsverbünde, with the focus areas and excellence cluster in cardiopulmonary systems, and mechanisms of perception and adaptations. And then we have other topics, areas of potential. They are called bioresources, with a focus on insects and what to do with insects now and in the future. Eat them to feed the global the global habitants. Well, I arrived this night, so at 3 o'clock in the morning. So when I'm a little bit difficult, when my English is a little bit disturbed, sorry for that. I'm just adapting to Colombia. So bioresources, nutrition. Infection medicine, smallest particles is one of our areas, and culture, conflict security, material and energy. There are other research profiles and topics, and I'm not going to read that slide. There are different centers where researchers focus on Eastern European studies, for example, or international development and environmental research. We have a center on animal research and the 3 R's, reduce, reduction, etc., with animal experiments. And we have a research center for the study of culture. And in that research center that offers a structured doctoral program, we have quite a few PhD students from Colombia. Students and doctors who made their doctor there. Who applied for scholarships and who are working on Colombia or on cultural questions. So we have a very good Colombian community at Giessen. Teaching, well, university does not only mean research but also teaching, because to become a researcher you have to get a good education first, a good higher education first, and we have a very big panorama of courses of study with bachelor's and master programs for 54 master programs, 10 programs leading to state examinations, Staatsexamen, and we have interdisciplinary international programs and double degree programs, for example, with France, Montpellier. And we have recently introduced a flexible degree course that is called Liberal Arts and Sciences, with 1 orientation year in humanities or in natural sciences, and then you can go to a specialized track later. So that's for German universities, that is new, but in the Anglo-Saxon world it's quite well known. And we have a very new master program that is so new that it's not on that slide. We will start a master program in justice and inequalities, comparative cultural studies in Spanish. It's our first master program in Spanish this autumn. And as you see, it's interdisciplinary, and as you might see, it has to do with Instituto Capaz, with the peace research, etc. And we have a large scope of teaching degree programs in Hessen for all school types and levels. Transfer is important as well for us, as our mission in Middle Hessen, in the center of Germany. Communication with civil society to bring scientific knowledge and processes to the public, and apply and utilize research results through patenting in cooperation with the company for technology transmit, and to advise actors in politics, business and society. And here you see my colleague from political sciences, Stefan Peters, with our president, federal president Steinmeier, when Steinmeier was visiting Colombia, Bogotá, and the office of the Instituto Capaz in the Claustro de San Agustín, if you know that, here in Bogotá, near the Palacio Nariño. And well, as far as our cross-sectional tasks are concerned, our internationalization has several strategic partner regions. One of these regions is Colombia. As you see, we have altogether 7, but we have a very strong partnership and cooperation with Colombia. And we have these informations points in Australia, Poland and Ukraine, and right here at Andes with Camilo sitting over there as representative of our university here at Andes. Well, digitalization is a topic that is, well, interesting for everyone, so I will skip that. And sustainability is one of our main topics, with a strong agricultural department and faculty, and working on sustainability and working in research projects on sustainability in sea and global questions. And as you see here, nutritional, agricultural, environmental sciences, energy storage systems, peace and conflict research. So this is very important for us, and I think that is a really good opportunity to connect different fields of study and different fields of research, from cultural studies to agricultural studies or environmental sciences, etc. So this is the final slide. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much, and I think now we have the coffee break.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor Verena Dolle. As you've seen, there's lots of opportunities at the Justus Liebig University of Giessen as well. It's not a casualty. This is the first German university with a legal representation here in Colombia, so it's a big step for us as well. And thanks so much for this presentation. Okay, now we have come to the end of the first part of our Doing Research in Germany Day, and we thank especially for those who connected online, because for those the program will be over right now. So thanks so much for connecting, and remember the recording of this first part will be available on our YouTube channel. Just look for DAD Colombia, and there we will find it, because there's useful information, and there will the contact information as well. So for those of you who will be leaving us virtually right now, you will find us. You will have the possibility to ask all the questions you want to ask us, and we will give you guidance throughout this jungle of opportunities you've been presented right now. And so for all of you staying here, and as you have heard, you will have the opportunity to go deeper down now in conversation with the institutions, but also with our DAD research ambassadors and the other colleagues and professors from the German universities present here. But first of all, we have a small coffee break right now. We have earned it. And later on, just let me remember you, there is 4 workshops, thematic workshops. Those who are interested basically in basic science, natural science, at 11:30 we'll come back to this room, and they will have our research ambassadors, Diana Hernandez and Marcela Santaella, who will talk to you about all this option in these areas, Max Planck Institutes and others. And the first floor, with our colleague Vladimiro Rincon, it's life science medicine, so you could go to the first floor, all in this building, Centro del Japón. And the second floor, we will thematically go to applied sciences. So there is Isabel, who is our research ambassador from Bucaramanga. She came all the way here, and Camilo Cortés will join you as well as we will. And social science, humanities will be on the top floor, on the 3rd floor. So at 11:30 you can find yourself up there. But you can choose the first term, because then after half an hour you can switch to the other rooms and get in touch with other colleagues there. So you will not miss anything. We'll have the time to go up and down the floors and connect with these thematical areas. All right, so thanks so much, and we will see you in the workshops then. Thank you.
Hi. Can I just ask you a favor? If you could wear your wristbands, your manillas, so that if you want to go out of the center and then come back, we will ask you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.